tight, angry hips that don't move well just make life unnecessarily hard. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 hip supplements that you can start taking. And no, I'm not talking about supplements in pill form. These are supplements that are exercises that you can add to your current exercise routine. They're going to make those hips feel a whole lot better, and this will carry over really well into your hiking as well. So let's get into these 3 supplements. So whenever you're doing any kind of single leg stance, we want to be utilizing a tripod foot. So what I mean by that is that we want to be putting pressure in 3 places: through the heel, through the base of the big toe, and the base of the little toe. So you can imagine this triangle here, and that's going to be our base of support. So think about that while you're going through the exercise. We're going to be thinking about keeping the hips and shoulders square, and we're going to just simply dip into the hip there with support, and then we're going to externally rotate out. So we're just learning to control that range of motion. We're keeping our good tripod foot, and we just go for 10 reps here. And I like to think about steering with this toe, because if we can keep this leg straight and keep it in line with the hips and the shoulders, thinking about keeping the whole body moving as one unit, just as we rotate on top of this leg. And for this, we're going to need just, it doesn't have to be a yoga block, but like literally anything, like literally a pumpkin. Let's start with the pumpkin. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take a half kneeling position, right? And we're going to get nice and stable here. So I'm going to be thinking about tucking my pelvis underneath. We might get a little bit of a hip stretch there. And all we're going to do is we're going to lift our foot over your pumpkin or whatever you've got, and we're going to do that for about 10 reps. Now, but the good thing about this is that we're combining strength and stability, right? So if you need to, like, you could balance with your hand on the wall, but that's a good starting point for literally anyone. Feet just outside hip width apart, and we're going to start by really gently rocking all the way, knees to the floor. Hips are going to come off the ground. We'll just work through that. That should feel like absolutely nothing for you. Now, we're going to get into something a little more strict here in a second, where we'll just go one leg at a time. So let's start with the left, and we'll think about pulling the knee down to the floor as much as you can, and then abducting outwards, little squeeze on the outside there, and we'll just go through about 10 reps on each side here. Straight away, we're going to go into the most obvious way to progress that movement, which is the 90-90. So we have our hips set up here and the knees at 90-degree angles. Now, it doesn't have to be that strict. You could have it less than 90. That's totally fine. Now, the idea here, what we're going to do is we're just going to sink into hip internal rotation. So what I'm thinking about is dropping the shoulder and see if I can get my butt on the mat here. And we're going to go through just 10 rotations there, sinking in, putting some of my body weight. Now, if this is like impossible for you, you're going to be back here, okay? The more upright we get with the upper body, the more intense this is going to be.
So there you have some great starting points to mobilize, strengthen, and stabilize the hips to make your hiking feel a lot more enjoyable. If you'd like to check out the full version of this follow-along routine, that can be found in my Momentum membership, which you can check out via the link in the description. That's all for this one, guys. I will see you on the summit.